So welcome to Tools and Techniques of Disaster Management, DHSM 3205, the first lecture. Before I begin, just a quick housekeeping. You already know that. So from this slide, all you need to know is the code to join this team. In case anyone has missed or I have missed adding anyone to Teams, he or she can always use this code. Seer can always share this code with the missing student and they can easily join to our teams. Go through the unit information, that is unit outline. I think I have already uploaded to the teams. If not, I will do it today. Also, this course has some lectures and practical materials. Practical materials will be uploaded in due time, and the lectures as well. Meanwhile, the books and other materials or resources will be available on Teams by today. So you may download them, go through them. However, when we will be going through or progress through this course over the time, we will be needing some software. So one of the software is, I think, Beams or Beam. And then there will be another software from European Space Agency. So I'll share the links of these softwares. And if someone have access to Envy, he or she can download and install Envy as well. So I will discuss the software section after this class, not now. Then consider the Teams as a discussion board. You can always, post different questions and then ask for hints or tips from your peers, classmates, etc. Use it. Quizzes and classes, you already know all these things. I'm not gonna go through all of them. You know this one as well. You will find them in unit outline. So we might not use this Envy software if we do not have access to our computer labs, because our computer labs have installed this software. However, since we are working or learning from home, we might not have access to this software. Those who have access to this software, this is fantastic. You can follow the practical tutorials using these softwares. If not, then we may try to manage this software for you. All you have to do is you have to go through the installation process. And if you get stuck, ask from your friends how to install the software. Meanwhile, I will try to find out other software as well that might be able to supplement this software. We are also thinking of going through some SPSS and Excel tutorials for data analysis. So if you do not have access, you might download a trial version of it. Or if you have access to the full version, that is also good. And as for Excel, you already have it provided from the university, from Microsoft. And then, anyway, I will come back to this software part later on. Do not worry. So you already familiar with the contents and the message of this slide. So I'm going to skip this one. So first off, the title of this course is Tools and Techniques. So I will come to the tools part later. The first of the technique. So what is a technique? What do we understand by technique? So by technique, we understand that it's a systematic procedure, formula, or routine, or a framework following which we can attain something, we can get something done. Okay, and these formula, routine, procedures, or frameworks, they could be in a form of rules or a standard. Sometimes we say standard procedure, the things that you have to do to attain something or to do something. And they could be protocols, these techniques. They could be some recipes, they could be some framework, or they could be some steps that you must follow to, do something. And then other than that, there could be a particular method of doing an activity where it involves the practical skills. So what it means is, it means that there could be some specific steps that you have to follow, or specific tools that you have to use, or specific calculations that you have to compute to, reach the results. So by doing so, sometimes some practical skills, for example, programming, or for example, skills on a software, or for example, skills on managing a database might be necessary. However, I say it might be, it's not mandatory. And what is a tool? So whenever we talk about tool, we normally think of any physical object. And whenever we think of talk about tool, in our imagination, we may try to imagine, or we may get a picture in our mind of some, some tools, some technical tools to fix a car, or fix an object, or fix a machine. However, besides these physical objects or physical tools, there are technical objects as well, like a software program, or OF operating tool, or online-based multiple platforms, which are also known as tools. So all the softwares, they are normally known as tools, just as ArcGIS is known as tool. So that is why, which we haven't already talked about from GIS class, that GIS, which is Geographic Information System, is basically a tool. It's not a science. And then Goodchild and others came in, and they say that, okay, so this tool can be taught, and this tool can be included into pedagogical methodology, and thus it can be turned into a science. And that's why when you talk about the father of GIS, which is system, it's always Roger Tomlinson. And then when you talk about father of the science part, or who coined the term science, it's Goodchild, Michael Goodchild. Okay, and they have a temporal gap of around 20 years. So it took 20 years to realize that that tool, that software, or the techniques, or the methodologies, they are tools, but they can be something of a science as well. So my point is, when we talk about GIS, GIS is also a tool. GIS is a tool to get some work done, to do some analysis, to do some assessment, to find out a result, etc. And a concept can be considered as a tool as well. Like creativity is a tool, and using this creativity, or the power of imagination, it allows the child's mind to grow, as well as when you have imagination, when you have creativity, I mean, you need creativity everywhere. You are very technical, you are very when you are solving a problem, be that related to the programming, be that related to GIS, be that related to other things, for example, remote sensing, you have to be very creative. You cannot just follow a set of specific steps and solve a problem. You have to understand where is the problem, what are the factors that are influencing that problem. And then based on that, based on your understanding, you have to be very creative how to go around it and find the solution, how to solve the problem. So creativity is a tool that is innate of ourselves, that is inside of ourselves, in our mind. How about a design, though? Is it a tool? Because a design, it also completes particular task. It also attain particular data or information, and then attain particular objective. So that is a question that I will put for the at the end of the course. So at the end of this course, you will decide whether a design can be a tool or not. It is not me or I who will be answering that question. So now it's a little work, a little brainstorming exercise. So tell me, what tools and techniques can you think of at this moment that is being used in disaster management? And let's write them down. So this is normally an exercise in the classroom, and we do not have physical access to it. So what I will try to do is I will try to open up something for you. And then how can I go back to Teams? Right. And then you may write it down, or what you can do is you can write down in the chat box. So we have a chat box, we can write down, but I do not want to clutter this chat box at this moment. So what you can do is we can go to our course. We have a class notebook. I might have to start this notebook. Okay, setup one, class notebook, blank. Next, create. So let's give it a moment to set up. Just quickly, quick poll. How many of you are using laptops? If you use this raise hand, that would be enough for me to know. Okay, better question. How many of you are not using laptop? How many of you are not using laptop? যারা যারা ল্যাপটপ ইউজ করছো না, শুধু তারাই হাত তুলবে যারা ল্যাপটপ ইউজ করছো না। ল্যাপটপ or computer, sorry, I rephrased that. Okay, so almost 50% are not using any sorts of computer, maybe smartphone. So smartphone jara korcho, tara to obviously you are using Teams software apps. Teams app, sorry. So those who are using Teams app, can you access this newly formed class notebook? Okay, so it's getting ready. It's ready now. Can you access this one? Yes. Okay, so quick question. Please lower your hands now. Okay. Quickly lower your hands, everyone. Right, Fahim, Sylvia, Oishi. Fahim and Oishi, please lower your hands. Okay, very good, thanks. Quickly raise your hand if you cannot access this notebook. Okay, don't raise your hand without trying. Go to your Teams and then go to General Channel. Then you will have this Post Files class notebook and click on it. If you click on it, then it should be there. Yes, still 11 জন access করতে পারছো না। যারা access করতে পারছো না, can you explain what's going on your end?
স্যার আমার হচ্ছে কি অ্যাপস ডাউনলোড করতে বলতেছে, মানে ওখানে যখন ঢুকতেছি তখন হচ্ছে কি নোটবুকের একটা অ্যাপস ডাউনলোড করতে বলছে।
Yes, so you have to download that app if you are on phone.
ওকে স্যার।
স্যার আমার নোটবুক এর অপশনটা আসছে বাট ব্ল্যাঙ্ক আসছে।
Blank, because it is blank, I think, for this moment. So I will try to write something and see if it appears to your notebook or not. Okay, so we have all these things, and then let me create. collaboration space. You see, we have a collaboration space, online class. Okay, so this is today's space, and then okay, so আমি এই যে জিনিসটা লিখলাম, write the tools and techniques that you can think of for disaster management. এটা কি তোমাদের এখানে দেখাচ্ছে? So if you open a class notebook, you should have this sort of panel on left, okay? And this one tells everyone's space. So you are here, see, all of my students have their own notebooks. Only I can access this notebook, and then I can assess your work. If you submit a an assignment, I can go and check and then put some marks in it. Similar way, we have one collaboration space where everyone have access to it, you and me. Okay, we all have access to it, and then we go and this one title. So let me put brainstorming of tools and techniques. So now we have this one, and you will see now I have the title brainstorming for tools and techniques, and once you click on it, then it will open this one. So it's sort of a book, okay? It's sort of a diary, but all of you, I have access to all of your diary, and then all of us together have one common diary as well. So where we can write, communicate, and play with. So still, how many of you do not have access? And okay, so still, how many of you cannot see what I have written down on your notebook? এই তো তার মানে 11 থেকে 13 জন এটাকে দেখতে পাচ্ছ না, তাই তো? Anyway, now we will go back to the lecture and try to sort out this one. So what other tools and techniques can you think of that is being used in disaster management? Let's write them down. So what you have to do is you have to go to the Teams, and then go to the class notebook and write down the tools and techniques that you can think of. So collaboration space, then online class. Okay, so some has already written down SPSS, statistics, GIS, and keep adding them. I will give you 10 minutes to add all the things that you can think of. 5 or 10 minutes. 10 minutes too long. Let's think of 5. And I think someone has deleted the other entries. Okay.
Hello.
Please do not delete anything. Hello, yes.
স্যার আমি লিখতেছিলাম কিন্তু কে জানে ডিলিট করে ফেলছে।
হ্যাঁ, কে ডিলিট করছো এরকম শয়তানি করো না। Do not delete anything.
স্যার আমার মনে হয় স্যার এই যে অনলাইন ক্লাস, এই যে স্যার এটা কোলাবোরেশন স্পেস স্যার, এইটা সম্ভবত সবাই করতে পারবে, এডিট করতে পারবে।
রাইট, আমি সেটাই বলেছি যে এটা যে কেউ এডিট করতে পারবে।
তাহলে স্যার আমরা লেখা শুরু করলে তো আমি লিখলে দেখা যাবে আরেকজন ওইটা ডিলিট করে আবার লেখা শুরু করছে।
না, তোমরা ডিলিট করবা কেন? তোমরা লিখতে থাকবা। ডু নট ডিলিট এনিথিং, জাস্ট কিপ রাইটিং।
আচ্ছা,
আমার কথা বুঝতে পেরেছো?
ইয়েস স্যার।
তুমি ডিলিট করলে শুধু নিজেরটা করবে, আরেকজনেরটা কেন ডিলিট করতে যাবা?
আচ্ছা স্যার।
সো যেমন কেউ স্পেসেস লিখেছিল কিন্তু কেউ একজন ওটাকে ডিলিট করে দিয়েছে। And since this one is collaboration space, I don't really know who is doing that. Okay. So লোকজন লিখেছিল হচ্ছে SPSS, statistics and GIS. So আমি statistics add করে দিচ্ছি again.
স্যার ওইটা আমি লিখছিলাম।
Okay. And then তারপরে নিচে একজন আবার লিখেছিল community preparedness. So we can easily add this one here.
স্যার মানে এই যে নোটবুকের ওটা একটু আমাকে দেখানো যাবে? ক্লাস নোটবুকে ঢুকে তারপর কি করতে হবে?
নোটবুকে যাওয়ার
যদি
পরে
আবার বলতেন।
নোটবুকে যাওয়ার পরে তোমার বাম দিকে এরকম প্যানেল থাকবে, রাইট? তুমি যখন তোমার ওই যে বিউপির আইডি এন্ড পাসওয়ার্ড দিয়ে লগইন করবে, তো তোমার এখানে
জি
আমার
স্যার
এই
ওরকম আসছে যে
EHSM 3205 নোটবুক একটা থাকবে, আছে?
জি স্যার।
তো এখানে দেখো ওয়েলকাম, তারপরে কোলাবোরেশন স্পেস এভাবে দেখতে পাবা।
জি স্যার।
এন্ড দেন তোমার একটা নির্দিষ্ট তোমার একটা স্পেসিফিক একটা নোটবুক থাকবে। হাউএভার এই কোলাবোরেশন স্পেসের এখানে দেখতে পাবে যে অনলাইন ক্লাস এন্ড কুইজেস, আমাদের যে চ্যানেল যেটা অনলাইন ক্লাস এন্ড কুইজ নোটস। সো উই আর ওয়ার্কিং অন অনলাইন ক্লাস এন্ড কুইজ, দেখতে পাচ্ছ? তো এখানে যদি ক্লিক করো, then it will open up this one, brainstorming of tools and something. So if you click, then the notebook will be open. তো সবাইকে যেহেতু আমি ডেমো দিলাম, I will give you do not need to write the numbers as well. এই এক্সেল এর পর কেউ যদি ক্লিক করে এন্টার দিলেই অটোমেটিক 6 হয়ে যাবে। So you do not need to write the numbering bullets. Okay. So remember, this one is only for disaster management. Okay. The tools and techniques that we are talking about, they are only for disaster management. So having that on mind, write down the tools. You have 5 minutes to complete the task. Now it's 3:02. I will come back at 3:07.
স্যার এক্সকিউজ
Yes.
মি স্যার।
বলো।
স্যার আমার মাইক্রোসফট টিমস নোটবুকের যে অপশনটা ওটা আসে, বাট ওটা এখনো স্টিল ব্ল্যাঙ্ক আসে। রিফ্রেশ করলে অ্যাপ নামাতে বলে, অ্যাপ নামানোর পরে আমি আইডি দিলাম, কোনোভাবেই কিছু হচ্ছে না। কি ওয়েটিং এর সাফারিং এর যে ঘোরার ওটা ঘুরতেছে।
আচ্ছা, তুমি কি কম্পিউটার থেকে ইউজ করছো নাকি মোবাইল থেকে?
হ্যাঁ স্যার, মোবাইলে। আমার কম্পিউটারে টিমস অনেক হ্যাং করে, কোনোভাবেই ওটা অপারেট করতে পারি না।
তো মোবাইলে
স্যার আমারও সেম প্রবলেম করছে ফোনে।
টিমস স্যার ল্যাপটপে ওপেন করতে গেলেই হ্যাং হয়ে যায়।
ওকে, সো টিমস ল্যাপটপে তো তোমাকে ওপেন করতে হবে না, ইউ ক্যান অলওয়েজ অ্যাক্সেস ফ্রম ব্রাউজার। সো জাস্ট লাইক দ্য ওয়ে ইউ অ্যাক্সেস ফেসবুক, ইউ ক্যান অ্যাক্সেস মাইক্রোসফট টিমস।
ব্রাউজার দিয়ে।
হ্যাঁ, তুমি টিম অ্যাপ কেন তোমার নামাতে হবে? লাইক আই হ্যাভ my teams here, so I can always load Teams on my browser and then go to Teams. Echo. Sorry, and then 3205 and then class notebooks.
ওকে স্যার, তাহলে যদি আমি ল্যাপটপে এটা করতে চাই অপারেট, তাহলে আমাকে আলাদা করে নোটবুক ফাইল অ্যাপস নামাতে হবে না, ব্রাউজার দিয়েই হবে সব।
হ্যাঁ, ব্রাউজার দিয়ে তুমি করতে পারবে। তুমি যদি এখন মোবাইল থেকে অ্যাক্সেস করো, ইন দ্যাট কেস ইউ হ্যাভ টু ইনস্টল দ্য সফটওয়্যার, আই মিন দ্য অ্যাপ ফর দিস OneNote.
হ্যাঁ স্যার, আমি তো আপাতত ফোনে ইউজ করছিলাম, কিন্তু ফোনে তো অ্যাপটা ইনস্টল করলাম কিন্তু হচ্ছে না।
তো এই ক্ষেত্রে তোমাকে ফার্স্টলি তোমাকে লগইন করতে হবে ইউজিং দ্য বিউপি আইডি এন্ড পাসওয়ার্ড। দ্যাট ইজ
জি স্যার, আমি বিউপির আইডি লগইন করতেছিলাম, তো হচ্ছে।
তো এটা তো কিভাবে করা যায়, তুমি যদি আমাদের সাথে শেয়ার করতে পারো তোমার এইটা, অথবা তুমি পরে স্ক্রিনশট নিয়ে লেট মি নো। আজকের ক্লাসের জন্য নোটবুক ইজ নট দ্যাট ইম্পর্টেন্ট, because all I want to know is I want to know the tools that you can think of.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
But in future হয়তো কাজে লাগতে পারে। So তুমি আমাকে ওই যে আমাকে একটা টেক্সট করে দিতে পারো তোমার স্ক্রিনশট নিয়ে যে কি দেখাচ্ছে, then maybe I can help you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, and for Alvis text, role 33 has to consider. Okay, তার যদি ইন্টারনেট চলে আসে তাকে বলে দিও ওই যে অ্যাটেন্ডেন্সের ফর্মটা ফিল আপ করে দিতে, তাইলেই হয়ে গেল। Otherwise it's noted. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
2 minutes আছে, 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to think of the tools. Okay, আমার মনে হয় time closed. It's 3:07 now. So let's go through the tools and techniques that you have listed down. So the first one you say GIS, then SPSS, statistics, community preparedness. Okay, Excel, remote sensing, contingency planning. Plan itself a tool, but contingency planning, can it be a tool? MS, do you mean Microsoft by this? I'm not quite sure. Microsoft PowerPoint, all presentations will be or might be through Microsoft PowerPoints. From that perspective, yes. And then any sorts of presentation, if they are based on Microsoft PowerPoint, they are presented on Microsoft PowerPoint. So from that aspect, it's not really a tools that we will be using for managing disaster. But okay, Google Form for getting a questionnaire survey and others, yes, might be. Google Earth, okay. OpenStreetMapping, all right. Microsoft Suites, what is this thing? OpenStreetMap, yes. Illustrator for generating map and poster, yes, can be. Smartphone, okay. AI for simulations, all right. Barometer, this is tool. Geostationary satellite images in real time, yes. ATA, I do not know what that is. GPS, yes. Google Map, yes. HOT, humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, yes. These are tools. So let me show you what I did, what I have from my end. This is not exhaustive. That means it does not really contains all the techniques. Okay, the list that I have, obviously the techniques and tools that you have, that they are also part of it. So for the techniques, what I have is I have citizen science. So with the list that you have, you see, and the list that I have, we have two different lists, or we actually our difference is actually from the perspective of scale. Okay, so you guys, you have thought from a very micro scale, whereas I thought of from a macro scale. That means I looked into a into the picture from a very broader perspective. And I thought of the different different genres that can be used. For example, citizen science. So what citizen science does is citizen science is a science which is used to collect data or which relies on the citizens for its functionalities. For example, you have heard of crowdsourcing or crowdfunding. So that is also part of citizen science. So the crowds, that means citizens, they are sourcing or writing down a software or inputting data, or in terms of funding, they are giving you the fund, not any particular government or not any particular company or agencies are giving you the money, but the citizens, without having any name or anything, that means collectively they are forming these funds, they are raising these funds. So the science that involve that sort of techniques, that is called citizen science. So in disaster management, citizen science is a very popular technique. Some of you have mentioned OpenStreetMap, and then you have also mentioned a humanitarian OpenStreetMap team, that is HOT, H-O-T. And there is also another app that is called Globe. Okay. And we have a Bangladesh chapter in Globe as well. So if you think of these platforms, what they do is they ask the citizens, to input the data, to collect the data. In HOT and in OpenStreetMap, they ask the citizens, the users, to make the map, to input the map. No company is responsible for making these maps, but the citizens. And then there could be other tools and techniques involved in communication. So these tools could be radio, then social media, and the techniques could be SOS, like we're sending SOS signals via different medias, could be radios, could be phones, could be anything, could be a flashlight. And also, there are many other communication techniques and tools available. So you may think of them in others category. And then another category, another way or another genre of tools and techniques that is used in disaster management could be modeling. So there are different types of modeling. If you continue your master's degree here, you will be going to risk modeling. And in that modeling, I will be teaching you some spatial and statistical modeling. So beside those modelings, or beside the techniques of the modelings that I teach, there are multiple sorts of modelings and simulations involved in disaster management. One quick example is the simulation of earthquake, where the earthquake can be, have deadly effect. We can find out using the simulation. We can simulate traffic flow. We can simulate any tsunami. And then based on this simulation, from the result, we can, create some preventative measures towards that particular hazard. So Mustafi sir actually did the simulation. His PhD, as I know, is based on the simulation in coastal areas. He did so. I think the simulation was based on tsunami. So these simulations, they are also part of modeling. And then if you want to predict the future, like what would Dhaka city look like in future in next 50 years, or how much sea level would rise in next 100 years, or what would be the flood return period for 100 years. So all these things are part of modeling. You have to run some models. These models can be statistical models, could be simulation, could be analog, or